What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 6 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Elspeth von Draken Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we have got the cinematic battles fixed, not for Elspeth perhaps, but for her other armies, which is great, because it still means that we can test out and have glorious cinematics of pretty much every single unit that we thus far haven't had the chance to see in cinematics, which excites me greatly. Now that did mean some great little battles. Albrecht, Hope Anderson, and Felix and Gautrick did stand against the ogres trying to cross the bridge, though another orc stack has come a-calling, and I think this calls us south. We really need to deal with the border prince's former territories and take them for ourselves, such as we don't have to constantly get ogres going through Blackfire Pass. I guess they've taken a leaf from the orcs book and travel into the Empire in this manner. Thus, what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to build a Garden of Morr and move Elspeth down there. It will mean quite a lot of cost, and it will mean not going after the Tower of a Crack or this little army, and leaving Erengrad to defend itself, which is also fairly iffy, but there isn't really too much we can do. We'll probably have to then peel away this army and then send it up there once these two have joined together, though, funnily enough, handguns are poor at defending walls because of the whole broken thing that they have, which means we'll probably need to build some crossbows and huntsmen and put them up on top of the walls of Erengrad to guard it, assuming, of course, these guys can't shore up the weaknesses of these territories. But for now, let's start with moving down here since we have to. So, Elspeth, we're going to pop the Garden of Morr. We'll build it at Steingart, and it's going to be costly, but I don't see how we can get around it. At the end of the day, losing Steingart and the investments we've made herein will cost close to the same, so at the end of the day, probably better to do it this way. And then we'll go to the Gardens of Morr, and then we'll teleport there for 2,000 gold. And it is expensive, but it is necessary. Last we can move no further. I wonder if we had popped into ambush stance, would we have moved in ambush stance? Curious. Stay in the settlement or outside the settlement? Oh, what the heck? I can't even select the settlement anymore? Huh, weird. Oh, this is interesting. I wonder if this has made the ogre army stuck, as in it can't move anymore because of the way that Elspeth has moved. It would be fantastic if that is in fact the case. Stay right there, Elspeth. If they are in fact stuck, we wouldn't need Alberic here. Although if they're not, we would. Well, I think either way we're going to swap armies. So, we'll pop you into a march stance, and then we'll move you just past Needling here, and then we'll swap some units around. Obviously, this army does not need the spears. I guess a question will be whether it needs Gautrick and Felix. I mean, they should be in an army that has some infantry, and this army certainly will have some infantry. Yeah, fine. Do it like so for now. Let's do this helmet. For now, you're going to take Gautrick, Felix, you're going to swap out these spears, we're actually going to delete them. You're going to take the Free Company, and all of these, and I guess the Tattersouls as well. We will take a couple of the handgunners, like so. Do we want the Witch Hunter? I mean, I feel like if we did want a Witch Hunter, we wouldn't necessarily want him in this army, and we do have an Engineer coming on by, so we can pop the Engineer into this army instead. I think that'll be the way to do it. At least for now. This is still kind of way too many handguns, but yeah. Let's see if I did this right. Oh, we should probably swap the levels of the handgunners. These guys will then have 5. And an Engineer. And we'll obviously swap out the artillery to better artillery. Alright, I think this is the way to do it, and we'll probably pop a Master Engineer to lead this army, so let's get one in here right now, and we'll delete Helmet for a while. We'll probably bring him back eventually, since he is a quote-unquote legendary lord. These guys still start at level 1, and we'll start with you, Mr. Knowledgeable. And I'll swap this out to you since you're mostly going to have gunnery forces. And where's that engineer I was talking about? You. Move over here. And all of you will travel northward to Erengrad until it can defend itself. Alberic, you're going to keep your army. And, oh, wait, this is the wrong engineer, isn't it? You're the mechanist engineer, who should be with the mechanist army. I mean, I suppose you could rack up XP here. Can we build engineers anywhere, or do we have to build them at Nuln? Looks like we have to build them at Nuln. Alright, well, we'll need another engineer for that army, then. And discipline isn't horrible. It's not what I'd like. I'm almost tempted to start milling through them, but you know what? We can wait. You can rack up the XP and then swap out with another engineer later on. And this, I think, is how we're going to deal. Next up, we've got a little tiny bit of money to spend, and I do believe, yeah, we have a few upgrades to do. Clothier here. And that's pretty much all we can afford right now, unfortunately. Ugh, all that money wasted just because of these darn ogres. We've got to make them pay for all this. Alright, we can skip, and I guess we can end the turn. Yes? There's Diplo, but we'll check it out next turn. Alright, sounds good to me. And yeah, they had no choice but to fight us. I guess we'll play this manually because Elspeth is broken, but well, I don't see why not. Let's play it manually then. At the very least, with this being a relatively weak army, we should still be fine, though unfortunately our artillery won't have time to make it onto the field, which might make it fairly interesting. Also, while we are loading, it looks like once again we did manage to reach the engagement threshold, so we'll be doing an hour-long, roughly, episode this time around, and the engagement threshold still stands 350 likes and 50 comments, and the next episode will be an hour-long as well. Now, Elspeth's coming in over here. You guys are Garrison forces, but can feel free to sacrifice yourselves if you want. We don't really care what happens to the Garrison. Probably do some damage to the ogres, and if we don't control them, we can actually watch these guys fight, which might be entertaining enough. Blob up like so. I want you out here because you're the, just see here. There we go. You're the leader, whatever. Maybe spread yourselves out a little bit more just so that the ogre charge doesn't carry them through to this unit, and I believe we're good to go. I guess the question is whether we want to protect this flank to some degree. Let's do this. Well, these guys could still theoretically get flanked, but not as bad. In fact, we'll do this so that these guys have a little bit more time to dish out a little bit more damage to the ogres. Because they will come for us. Alright, start battle, speed it up while they head towards this army, but all this will do is allow Elspeth to move on to the field. You guys know skirmish mode, looks good to me. And I guess the question will be who you fire at. Well, it's all... damn, these guys built basically all Iron Fists. Well, good for them, they're gonna get some missile block with that, so I guess we don't have to pick. Alright, you guys, stand until Elspeth arrives. She won't arrive for you to survive, but that's just fine. And besides, with minimal control, we can still watch the battles happen. Alright, and the enemy will be hitting us shortly. Charging on in. Alright, halberds and spears alike, you're going to have a pretty bad day. Spears can move forward and strike. Swords, I would like you guys to, I don't know, help out here. And there we go. Was waiting for the units to hit our flanks as well, so start working on them. Alright, well, keep doing a little bit of damage to the enemy. We got 15 seconds until Elspeth's main army arrives on the field, and for now we can watch our poor little garrison here and get slaughtered. I guess one issue is that by not auto-resolving this army will survive. I'm just going to really hope that they don't or aren't capable of running across the river. Don't bother targeting the enemy tyrant. I think we'll go after the Saber-Tusks pack or another unit, doesn't really matter who. And there we go. Elspeth's on the field. Engineers and such. Everybody come on in. The water's fine. Let's just move as best we can. Our artillery pieces set up, and the rest of our gun lines set up as well. Am I missing anybody? Okay, you three. I'm missing you three. And the other artillery. Alright, I think I moved everybody, or if I haven't, I guess it doesn't really matter. Obviously, we don't have to take this particular battle too seriously. Oh, you guys haven't actually fully routed yet. That's kind of impressive. Well done. Well done to you. Keep on firing. Go after those ogre bulls with dual weapons now, mostly because they are a lot more fragile. And then those Iron Fists are. The Ogres at least are making some work, though the Defenders are bringing a few of them down as well. You can see Elspeth moving in to strike, and I'm sure she'll bring that Tyrant down with decent ease, though we won't be able to chase the enemies down. Let's also send our Cav forward of the various kinds. Stay in skirmish mode. And Elspeth, get ready to get your breath down. And you know what, let's get a Purple Sun in, I don't know. In the middle of this blob, it's probably not going to do anything, but, well, it's not like we really care all that much either. Alright, Purple Sun coming in. Get that breath on the Tyrant. This is going to hurt our own units, but, well.
Understood.
Now let's see that breath. There we go. Very, very nice. I'm sure that hurt the Tyrant quite a bit. Touch down and hit him with a Spirit Leech while you're at it. Not really paying attention to the rest of our forces. Alright, good. You guys have gunned the enemy down. Saber Tusks are in. And our artillery, you know what, frankly, our artillery are probably going to be too slow to get to the fray. So everybody else start moving forward. Alright, and you guys back away. Let's not get hit by those daggers. Elspeth has brought down the enemy and can pop a... what is a burning head through the rest of this, and hit a few more enemies with various spells. There we go, maybe a Fate of Biuna on, I don't know, whoever. Saber Tusks, I guess. Just because they're there. Hey, Saber Tusks are in. You guys don't fight those units directly. Let's move you forward, and the Saber Tusks will get ripped apart by our units of Knights of the Black Rose. Both of you charge at those trappers. You guys can now move forward, and artillery pieces, best you can, target those units over there. Alright, let's hope our own units don't kill them off. And now, some of our units are actually coming back. Well, with Elspeth, I suppose, helping out, it's not so bad. Elspeth, move over here. And go after those ogres. Activate Dark Walker, though it hardly meant. No. I told you guys to fire at the ogres, not at the trappers. The trappers are not who you want to target, as the knights will otherwise fare poorly. You can enter melee. And how's the rest of our army? Moving in still? Alright, move up. Frankly, Elspeth could have probably finished off the rest of these guys on her own. And... yeah, surprisingly, a decent amount of this force still remains, so good job to them. Artillery's still working, and the battle should be ours, yes? Yeah, there we go. Alright, now comes the time of chasing the enemies down. They're not a march stance after all. Let's leave these guys to run down the trappers, but the... well, Elspeth, you can kill off a few ogres with a Fate of Biuna and a few other things. Come on, cast spell, and cast spell, and Spirit Leech, and then don't run into the Burning Head. You guys come on down. Alright, how are you all? You guys go here. Probably not going to catch that ogre unit, but that's fine. You guys go after this. Artillery, I think it's time to stop lest you damage our own units. Alright, fortunately, the... okay, you can... I don't know. Do this. Fortunately, our units of Spirit Leech of Outriders are pretty good at gunning down ogres as they run. Alright, and Knights of the Black Rose. Keep on chasing, would ya? In fact, they do need kills to get Theodore Bruckner up on the field, so why not? And get said kills if you would. Alright, a few more units to chase. This is obviously normally something I do off screen, but, well, too late. This time around. Anyway, speed it up now until we get the last of the enemies gunned down. Our artillery ain't firing anymore. Oh. Turn off range fire and then melee charge into those units. As otherwise they won't die. You guys can also stop firing, whatever. And... yeah. Alright, we good? We good? There's another unit running over here. Unless this is an ogre bull unit. Oh. You're all kind of in a place where the artillery can fire upon you. Okay, I'm pretty sure that unit's gone now. Good enough. And good enough. Alright, well, I got to watch a little bit of that battle cinematically as our garrison got charged. It actually did fairly well, all things considered. Frankly, the garrison plus Elspeth was more than enough to hold all this. Most of the enemy army is destroyed, though I guess we'll still have to chase down what remains, though we probably won't set Elspeth herself to do it, as she busy. We got a free spell shield for our trouble, and we're gonna take... 1.5k schematics, why? Okay, well, we'll take the 1.5k schematics. I don't think we've ever gotten nearly that much before. Odd. That was odd. I'm not complaining, it's just interesting. And by interesting, I mean odd. Anyway, Elspeth, you are heading southward to Akendorf now, as you know where else to go. Set up in march stance, head out past the river. And let's take this before somebody else does. Spell shield we don't care about. Scribe is nice, though wasted on Mr. Lupio here. And a barded warhorse for Ralph Becker. Sure, sure. Alright, rest of you. Alberic Hupt Anderson, you... honestly kind of tempted to delete this army, mostly because it's costing us, let's think about this. You need to head to Erengrad.
Pick up the pace.
And it looks safe for now, and we should probably trade Zoishank. I actually wanted to trade Zoishank to the Ice Court, but we'll see if Castle Alexandrinov slash those guys in general survive. Let's pop into Helmut's army. Now these guys should be able to hold the north until the orcs declare war on us. And then move towards the orcs. Though, if we trust a few units to hold this, we might actually be able to get this army to start working on the orcs instead. By itself. Just to make sure that we get the gold mine rather than leaving it to Kislev. And it's certainly a possibility. It looks like these guys have lost their main stack though, and we will need defenders at Erengrad, but for now we're okay. What do we have here? Perceptive and, well... Perceptive's probably better than what we had, but the rest of this kind of meh. Oh, right. I was going to swap those units out to the Master Engineer. Just too many range units for this army to be led by a general. Alright, that looks good to me, and just to double check, this will give various gunnery units buffs and ballistics calibration. Will help all the range units out. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Especially considering Gotrek and Felix can fight anybody who's a melee unit. You don't need the Borger. And what we can do is give you the Scribe now. Oh, right, we have the Steel Standard. I might give that to Elspeth. Take the Scribe and take the Messenger for additional movement range. Don't need the Zealot, don't need the Woodsman... Light College Acolyte not useful to you, Burger not useful to you, at least not at the current time, and the rest of this is fine. And ignore the magic items, at least once again, for now. We do want to replace these mortars with mortar war wagons and maybe get another pistolier unit to chase enemies down. The Tattersouls won't be in this army forever because they'll have a specific army for them, and we will have to or want to keep an eye on the Arch-Electors available. Not super happy with any of those. Get rid of these spears. And I'm tempted to say get rid of this guy as well. He is level 6, but I'm not super big on Imperious. It doesn't seem like a particularly good buff. Even though he does have levels on him now. What do we have in terms of other witch hunters? Well, frankly, these aren't any better, but he's costing us money and he's not serving any purpose, so we're going to delete him as well. I'm tempted to say get rid of the Deathjacks and the White Wolves as well. Yes, we got them in here. But now I'm thinking that was a mistake. And I'd rather not pay for them. In 10 turns they'll recover and we can put them in Erengrad with a few other range units just to hold it by themselves. You, in the meantime, can simply serve as a recruiter at Nuln to start to making our Mechanist army with a bunch of war wagons and other stuff. And maybe swap some stuff out with Elspeth's army as well. Nice. Alright, our money coming in is fairly decent now, and our schematics are looking okay. I would like to take a look at that Imperial Gunnery School. Not the ballistics plating, we still have to use this. We need a little bit more kills with the Amethyst units, working on that. Probably a battle or two will undo that for us. Restock for Pistoliers and upper... You know what, let's do that. Restock. Frankly, it's time to start moving through some of these. Or at the very least, for the units that we have. It's not so bad. I am tempted by an Amethyst Outrider. Although we'd have to delete something here, and I don't think I'd want to delete anything here, at least without trading a unit away. How many of these units can we have? 5 or 6? Wait, is it like gifts or... It's 5, damn. Could at least have been 6. Alright, we'll get that Emperor's Wrath within the next couple of Probably not turns, but certainly within the next couple of episodes. We need to build stuff up in the meantime. And once again, money will take priority. Keep on building. Start with the tier 2 upgrades, like you. And like you. Okay, these are not worth it. Tier 2 upgrades, like you. Then we'll move to tier 3 upgrades once we have the capability of doing so. Oh, we've run out of money. Or have we? Let's double check diplomacy. Great Orthodoxy, Reichland, Averland, no confed as yet. Alright, how much is this little settlement worth to you, Great Orthodoxy? Zoyshenk, I mean.
Is also
27. It would enable us to get a bunch of alliances, but I'd rather take their 5k. I don't care if they die. Serena Katrin can take their territory, so we'll give this to them. Like so. And then use it to get more money and stuff. I believe these guys aren't too pissed off about the gifts to the Great Orthodoxy, but it's fine. At least it's fine by me. We are better off holding Erengrad than they ever were. Anyway, back to this, where we were missing clothiers and should be building them. Where was that? One was here, and then one in Essen, and then one here as well. There we go. We should also upgrade you to level 2, and you to level 2. Nice, very nice. If we can get up to about 10,000 gold income and then spend like 5 to 10 turns just making income, we can rack up enough of an economy within the next few episodes to just start pumping out armies with tanks and land ships and crazy nonsense all over the place, which is gonna be the goal. Otherwise, we're good to go. Let's end the turn. Ooh, we got the income from industry completed next turn as well. And hopefully by taking Akendorf, we can just set up an army there to guard Blackfire Pass for us. Of course, various factions can go over Akendorf and ignore it, but especially with Averland here rather than us, it might not be as likely. Alright, what do we have here? Income from industry? 8.7k, not bad, not bad. Diplomatic relations plus 40 with Nordland. And mission issued. And mission completed. Substantial income indeed. Steel Standard and Potion of Healing. Oh man. Well, we'll probably put the Potion of Healing on Elspeth while Bruckner holds the other Trickster's Shard. Yeah, we'll do that. Move in regular stance, I think, right here.
Death takes the laggard.
Do we have defenders at Akendorf? We do, but they're basically nothing. Which means we'll be just fine. And okay, these guys aren't at war. I was a little bit concerned that they would steal the territory from us, but we're gonna work on it ourselves. Alright, diplomacy time, or at least check-in diplomacy time. Ostland wants to be friendly now. Jade Custodians want to trade, just as Ostland does, but aren't our biggest concern. Confeds, still not working for us. Disciples of the Mom want peace now. Oh, after all that, you want peace, huh? That's not gonna happen. Do we trade with Ostland? Or do we trade with the Jade Custodians? Trading with them will make us friendlier with the northern and western provinces, which is probably the better thing to do. What's the likelihood we'd be able to trade with both? Let's find out. Money, please. And, yes, we can trade with both. Just barely, mind you, but can.
Speak with conviction, and some good may come of it.
Tiny bit of cash for it, but we'll take it. Lovely.
kneel to earth.
Yes.
Alright, another thing we need to do is we need to uncover Ulthuan, because as soon as we do, we'll be able to trade with all the elves. This will both give us money and give them money as well. Decent opportunity to send a hero over there, like a witch hunter. Pretty sure strategist doesn't work, but the campaign line of sight does. It's gonna cost us a little bit of cash to do this, but I think it's worth over. Oh, you know what I should have done? Not deleted the witch hunter here and sent him. Anyway, you're still on the way to Nuln, Mr. Alberic. Also, what do we gotta do to recruit Nuln Ironsides here? Actually, another thing is we won't need... Oh, not the Hawkland long rifles. 238 versus 150. We won't need the regular handgunners once we have Nuln Ironsides available, will we? And there wouldn't be too much purpose. Meaning we could get rid of these fairly soon, we just need the upgrades completed. I'll think about it. We'll keep them for now in case we need to send them somewhere. Now you, sir, I think are safe to travel to the York territories. Ah, there's Azag the Slaughterer. If he goes after Fort Jakova, if they two declare war on each other, it would be a perfect time to try to fight him. We'll have to be careful with this army, because it's not the strongest, let's face it, but, yeah. Should still be okay. We can always get some Amethyst units in there, like a couple of Amethyst Outriders, which will completely round out that army and make it a lot stronger. I like the idea. Anyway, technologies. I'd like to get into a proper fight ASAP, which is why I'm trying to speed through some of this stuff. Construction time, income from ports, construction cost of resource buildings, trade tariffs. This is all fine, but it's not what I would call critical. Manorialism is very nice. I do like the additional research rate out of the Engineers Guild, but it's also not what I would say is critical. So the additional engineer capacity is nice. Is it nice enough to warrant wasting 3 turns on it? We should also get the Amethyst Armor up and running ASAP. Gain vision of all non-hostile Empire factions' capitals. Why? I guess this would enable us to easily confederate to those ones that are far away, which is a good thing, mind you. And we will do that. But for now, I just want to see if there's anything that we really want. I'm inclined to say and that the best thing we could do is probably move towards rifled barrels here, which means all of this. We might swap. We don't have any ports, or at the very least few enough to not be concerning. You know what, let's just get State Troop Standards at only 3 turns. It's probably worth our time to get it. A lot of the cheaper techs, like 15 armor, is very decent, and does include our weaker cav units, though. Oh wow, Amethyst Outriders have 110 armor. I guess they have full plate as well. Nice. Nice for them at any rate. Can any of you collect income? No. Do you even need Council of Burgomeisters? I guess the question is, would anything else here help? Income from trade tariffs faction-wide. Tiny bit of additional cash, why not? Let's get that gold mine up and running. Alright, there, and... okay, first we go through the tier 2s. Then we'll switch to the tier 3s right after. Because we probably won't have money. And then, yes, we should start upgrading a few of the main settlements, but... not sure that's the priority right now. Tier 2s are good. There's a tier 2 right there. Talabekland, yes, Kappelberg, please. Let's get that weaving house, and let's get you up to tier 2 as well. And that's pretty much all of our cash, isn't it? Ignore all of the fields / growth buildings, as at level 1 they will provide enough for our purposes right now. Castle Drakenhof. We do want to get the paved roads here just for the income from all buildings, but it's quite a costly upgrade, and I don't see the need right now. We should also be using you as another military province, and we do want warrior priests, which makes me think we should probably build a Shrine of Sigmar here. Although, we also want wizards for... nah, you know what, let's save for next turn and get a wizard's conclave. The thing is, we want a wizard up and running for this army, as it currently doesn't have one. Yeah, alright. Fine by me. Elspeth, skip, and turn. Let's see if we find Azag the Slaughterer. Military access. Trade agreement, money. I still think they're probably going to die to Azazel and these guys, so yeah. And they're free to have that. And I'm actually starting to get a little bit concerned about Erengrad. Might be a good place to build a Garden of Morr. However, I don't want to move away from where we currently are. That's another thing. And I assume that building in... yeah, Jade Custodians got destroyed. I assume that building a new Garden of Morr won't recoup the costs of building a previous one. Amathane Frost. Are you going to Erengrad, perhaps? Damn, it's got 2 turns, eh? You know, I was gonna send you to the Orcs, but perhaps for now, let's have you guard Erengrad. Trespassing? Oh. Ostland, really? Alright, let's just double-check diplomacy. Are you willing to give us military access? No, Carcassonne is. That's not who we're concerned about. Who are Carcassonne about, who are concerned about. No, it didn't work. It didn't work, ignore me. Defensive alliance. Yeah, the problem with that is, will they survive? Well, whether they do or they don't, I would like the vision that they offer over here. Maybe they'll give us vision of a few other factions.
What? This action does not have my consent.
Doesn't look like it. I was hoping that they would give us vision of the elves. As in the Ulthuan elves for trade agreements with them. Also, looks like the orcs of the Broken Axe are doing quite good. Currently at war with Reichland, Carcassonne, and the Barrow Legion. Though if they destroy Reichland's armies, that might lead them to be confederated by us, which is, well, what we want. Alright, Elspeth. They abandoned it. They abandoned Eckendorf. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess we can just freely take it.
For Nuln, for the Empire.
Yeah, this is obviously not worth fighting. Auto resolve. Although, I wonder. Occupy the place.
Raise our standards here.
At tier 2. And we got to keep the clothier. While I would love the grazing pastures, we have to build the basic walls here as it is supposed to be a defensive territory. Royal Altdorf Griffite's now available.
Lady of Shaiish.
And these guys have lost Bergfarin. Oh, wow. The Scabby Eye have been doing surprisingly well. There's a lot of enemies here. Please tell me Karazakarak is alive. Who owns the territory? Ah, we can't tell. We can't tell who owns the Silver Road. Well, if we take Varenka Hills, we might be able to.
Let me think about it.
I mean, how far you can travel? Probably not that far, right? I was wondering if we could have Elspeth or somebody else take Varenka Hills and then Elspeth still move, but it's not looking super likely, I would say. So, we'll ignore it for now. You're going to have to move, let's say, right. Screw it, just trespass through this stupid territory. I don't see how we have a choice. We're not losing Erengrad for this, so. You gotta do what you gotta do. Alberic, you are going to return to Nuln. And we are going to have you recruit some stuff. As to whether we do so right now remains to be seen. What do we have available to us, by the way? So war wagons and war wagons with mortars for our mechanical army. And just to double check, the mechanist does buff them, yes?
Pioneer of progress.
Or reduce their upkeep, but mortars, war wagons, yes. Yes, he does. Lovely. Lovely, we're going to put that to good use, eventually. For now, though, building upgrades will take priority. And we'll start with the tier 2s as usual, and then move on afterwards. Looks like you're good. We are going to upgrade you to tier 2. Get that income. Get income to build tanks. Good, and Griffinwood, I guess we can upgrade the, 2.4k, it's not worth it. Tier 3 upgrades or prioritize towns, settlements upgrades. I'm still inclined to say Taylor's Guild. Upgrade all of them to tier 3 and then start on these guys. So let's go with tier 3s then. And yes, that doesn't quite work as well for the growth, but whatever. As in, it's not efficient from a growth perspective, as we do still have to upgrade all the settlements, but it is efficient from a money-making perspective. Which is the most important perspective right now. Diplomacy, once again, I just want to check before ending the turn. No. Paranoid about one of the imperial provinces being able to be confederated and then missing out on it, which would be unfortunate. Anyway, we're good to go here in the turn. Gotta try to find a fight, but you know what? At the end of the day, growing the empire is never a bad thing. You want peace treaty? No. Though it does look like the Vampire Coast are advancing. No new war declarations? By the looks of it, no. Alright, Wa succeeds for Broken Axe. Varenka Hills, there is an army there. What's the likelihood that you could take Eckendorf? I would assume relatively low. We'll probably need somebody to defend it. I would also like to take another look at Master Engineers. Nothing good, and regular engineers. Strong, disciplines, and disfiguring scar. Once again, once we have more money, we'll be able to just mill through those. Haha, Hama. You're indeed going to Erengrad. Bet we can't reach it. What we can do... Go right here.
In pursuit of knowledge.
Right outside of Erengrad. and then go into ambush stance, and hope that you land in such a way,
In search of answers.
or at the very least not know that we're here, that we can fight you. That would be
Just as
lovely.
I desire.
And then well, you know what? Let's upgrade the gunnery, so it's going to take 3 turns. I want to start building long rifles and Nuln Ironsides for our gunnery forces. And for whatever Guardian forces we set up. Anyway, Elspeth.
Mage.
It's the best way to do this. We could sack Varenka Hills and then perhaps head to the Forest of Gloom. Or we could do it the other way around. I'm gonna say sack Varenka Hills because there's more forces there. And frankly, we're not really looking to keep any of these territories, just Eckendorf, or at the very least none of the Badlands territories. Ah, Thorgrim is alive. Oh, thank you, Thorgrim. Good, 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 good. I'll resolve this. Sack it. Army is gone, then take Forest of Gloom. Glad we can't recover Draika and have her go here, although she'd be right beside the dwarfs then, which ain't so great. I'll resolve that and occupy it.
Let us take it.
And don't collect the income, but do go for the Council of Burgomeisters and delete that training field. Good. Kill 1,000 enemies in battle with Amethyst units, schematics plus 500. The application of magic to military engineering makes for much more destructive capabilities, but the added unpredictability has required greater scrutiny of developments tested in the field. Alright, so what else do we need to do then? For what we're trying to do here. We need to use the Buna Bombard ability once, so we're going to restock this. And, well, we'll use it once, and then that'll allow us to go to the next tier, which will give us explosive ammunition for all gunnery infantry.
Guardian.
It's a likelihood that this gets attacked. I mean, if it does, it does. Elspeth will destroy the enemy anyway. Thorgrim, we need alliance. Well, actually, we'll just double-check everything and everybody, but, Ooh, Nordland's close.
So,
But nothing else particularly interesting. No. Karazkarak, yes.
greetings, honorable ally.
We do need their thunder barges and some fancy dwarven tech, as it will work very nicely with our guns after all, so let's do that. Alberic, I was going to have you recruit, but let's keep our econ going. While we're safe to do so, we definitely have to take the opportunity to do so. As later on, we'll just have so many armies running around that our income will drop, so I'd rather do this right now. You know what, it's time to upgrade Beckhofen to the next level. Stirland, okay, wait. Take a look at the clothiers first. I'm sure there will be others that need upgrading. Yeah, go to tier 2. Oh, there's not one at Castle Templehof. Well, well, well. Wellity, wellity, wellity. The moat. We are missing a weaving house there, and Pistoliers and Outriders. Upkeep reduction. Decent. But I think... once again, I don't really care about upgrading the Griffin Wood. Yeah, fine, upgrade you. Anything else? Ooh. Paved roads. This is going to be our most money-making province after Altdorf, assuming that we can get the Confeds, so yeah, that's fine. Alright. Looks like another intern to me, eh? Just wait. You'll get to recruiting eventually, buddy. Don't worry. I'm sorry, but Econ has to take priority over you. And once again, as I like to say when forced to do this kind of thing with a little bit of admin during the mid-campaign, it's generally good because it makes tougher opponents in the long run with better armies and such, so. Also, I think, you know what, after all, I will get that Witch Hunter and then send him to Ulthuan. Witch Hunter. Another Imperious one. Go for the Perceptive one, doesn't really matter. And then start moving on this way. Ambush foiled, but it hardly matters. Ally begins outpost construction. There's that infantry speed. And double checking the new guys. Nah, still don't like any of them. Well, still don't like these guys and generals. I mean, strong is fine and solid. And but so is tough, and we already have a guy that's tough, so it doesn't seem the most. And Thorgrim, you were supposed to take Varenka Hills, buddy. Do we waste Elspeth's turn taking it before moving on to Barak Var? Taking it just to trade it to Thorgrim to make him pay for it? Well, he's not doing so bad. Oh wow, he's taken Mount Gunbad. Damn. Dwarfs. I gotta say I'm impressed. I'm quite impressed indeed. Huh, go figure. Alright, well we definitely want an alliance with them. I thought they'd be dying. The meta's definitely changed, as they used to, let's say, suffer a lot more. Confed, Nordland is drawing closer but still not available, but we can do a military access with Ostland. Northern Provinces wants military access. We're already trading with them, but we could declare war on Clan Ashen. Also, how many Ooh, 4 territories. No, just ignore that for now. Could be potentially a waste. Alright, sorry, Elspeth. We're gonna have you take Varenka Hills just to trade it away to the dwarfs. I was really expecting them to take it, but making our allies stronger makes us stronger. The Empire does expand. Alright, Varenka Hills will hold on to it for the next couple turns, but we'll obviously not keep the uninhabitable wasteland. Next, we'll go for mass-produced small ammunition, and the recruitment cost for missile infantry will relatively align with when we're able to start getting Hawkland long rifles and regular Nuln Ironsides on the field. Yes.
New knowledge is crucial.
Getting prepared to start pumping units out. You... he didn't... Oh! Ha, that guy got killed. Or did he? Hamathane Frost is moving here now, and I see Wulfric the Wanderer. Stick around. If these guys take Norden, we might be able to get a nice battle against them. I assume they won't try to land at Erengrad. Speaking of Erengrad, yes to the basic walls, please. And switch out of the corruption to the growth and the Council of Burgomeisters as well. Very nice. Can't quite defend itself, at least not against full stacks, but it's certainly getting there. Next up, once again, weaving houses / clothiers. Though we've got most of them up and running now. And once that priority has been taken care of, then we start upgrading all settlements. Oh, Forest of Gloom. Start with field. Ooh, wow. Provincial instability. You'll be fine. Griffinwood, you're not a priority. What is a priority is Drakenhof, Schwarzhofen, Eschen, etc. So start with you. Ostermark, we will move on to Mordheim. And that's all the money we got for now. And keep the fields as they are. Once again, not wasting money on them. Confederation check? Okay. And yes, I will continue checking like 3 times every turn.
Dark Lady.
Gotta be a little bit paranoid about that. Anyway, skip the rest of this and the turn, then we can trade Varenka Hills to Karaz-Karak, and frankly, I'd be happy to give them Forest of Gloom as well, mostly because we're kind of disinclined to defend it ourselves. And these guys can certainly put it to better use. Durthu wants us to join war against Clan Squire. We will do this, just not yet. And, ooh, Carcassonne might be dead. Well, it's unfortunate for them. Ready for duty. Nemesis crown another vision. The crown lies in a region owned by Nordland. Oh, wow, really? It was supposed to lie by a river and a region by Nord? Okay. This was nowhere near where we were going. Alright, well then.
What does the Emperor bid?
Guess that's where we're going. For victory, looks like Wulfric is going this way, eh? He's gonna land at Castle Alexandrinov. I was gonna have you go after Hamathane Frost, but I think we'll move you here. And if these guys should land, we'll have you kill them. Hopefully you don't have to hang around here for too long. We should send somebody to pick up the Nemesis crown as well. Could do one with an engineer. It'll sort of serve to mill through them. It's not like they're crazy expensive or anything. Certainly an option. This guy's rebuilding at Barrack Dawasbag, though with these guys still encroaching upon Disciples of the Maw territory, that's not the worst thing in the world, especially since Elspeth has bonuses against the undead. So we'll take Barrack Dawasbag, or Dawasbag, whatever, and get a little bit more XP. Sorry, Elspeth, I was really banking on getting you a big fight, but for now, you're just gonna have to deal.
Raise our standards.
Trickster Shard. How close are we to Bruckner? 624, working on it. You want Varenka Hills? Yes, you do want Varenka Hills for Trade agreement and military alliance. Perfect. Now we have vision that is given to us by Karazakarak. This is quite nice. And ooh, yeah, they're doing quite well. Hopefully us allying them doesn't make them too much weaker, as it feels like it has a tendency to do. Quick deal. Has that vision changed anything? Well, we can still get the military access with the northern provinces. And Nordland is ready for a confed. The issue with that is Hamathane Frost will then land here. They do have 3 territories, though, including Middenstag down here. Well, the public order is going to be an issue. I say we take it.
Welcome, my countrymen.
Join confed. Oh, damn, Festus is right there, and we are at war with him, meaning he's probably going to take this, unless this guy does it for us. Don't collect the income here, at least not for now. We'll hold on to this army. Oh, mission aborted. Diplomatic relations with Nordland. Yeah, that was bound to happen. Who do we have here? Another witch hunter with perceptive. Should you not find that Nemesis crown since we're right there? And what are you? You're an Empire captain with a regal, which I'm not super happy with, so no. Not paying for you, sir. The rest of this is fine, and what do you have, incidentally? Tactician? I really would have preferred cunning. But it's all good. Just gonna have you knock out Festus to make sure that he doesn't go after Middenstag, and then we'll move to defend the other territories. Let's hope that we can get a battle against Wulfric pretty much next turn, as soon as we spend our cash. Oh, look at that public order drop. At least it's not as much of an issue in vanilla as it was in SFO, I mean. Alright, build that. We will build Essen. Gotta keep those buildings upgraded, and the weaving houses as well. Go for the Vintner. Let's upgrade Needling. And I'm gonna say Kappelberg, because then we can upgrade both the Clothier and the Woodsman's Hut. Anything else? Should have been at least one new Clothier available now. Apparently not. And what do we have here, by the way? We have stables, which we could potentially use, but no defenses at Salzman. I mean, keep this. I'm not so sure about the stables right now. Let's also go into Council of Burgomeisters. Hold on with the Firearms Academy. The hunting camp doesn't actually build us any... Okay, fine. We'll build it nonetheless. It doesn't give us any money is what I was going for. River Linsk. You could start collecting a tiny bit of cash. But at the cost of growth, it might not be worth it. So we won't. Middenstag we'll keep for now. And just to double check one thing, okay, now.
No evildoer may receive the blessings of the lady.
Oh, that was a very echoing voice from the Fey Enchantress. Interesting. There was, I believe we're good. Yes, yes. Other than the potential recruitment, but we're doing good economically, so I think we'll hold off. Ooh, Drajoath is probably going to attack the regular dwarfs. We're probably going to need to help them out a little bit. But fine for now. End turn. Elspeth, I guess you're going to take Doc Karaz on to Beric Var and then dealing with Azag. Funnily enough, Azag had a decent trait for us, but we'd actually have to find him. And, ooh, Aranessa, where are you going? You want us to join war against Clan Moors? No. It's not right now. Oh no. Is that a Skaven Plague? Please don't have given it to Elspeth. That is indeed a Skaven Plague. Alright, we gotta get the heck out of here. I was gonna... You know what? You can't reach Doc Karaz and it has a Skaven Plague there? No, we're getting out of there. No Skaven Plague. None of that garbage. I'm going to ambush stance right here. I want to see where Aranessa is going. She's going to bypass Karakangazar. I wonder if she's going to try to go after Rakendorf or try to... What's the likelihood she heads up here? I'm going to assume low. At the very least. And Nemesis Crown, location unveiled. Defeat the Nemesis Crown bearer at the location revealed. I take it that's a quest battle? Forged by the infamous Dowie runesmith Alaric the Mad, the Nemesis Crown corrupts all it touches. Isolating every dark thought, it twists the mind of its wearer, leaving them hollowed out by madness. Now a horde of goblins has uncovered it and claimed its power for their own. Whatever their intent, death and anarchy are sure to follow. Alright, so what do we got here? Wulfric has indeed taken these territories. Oh wow, it's getting hectic up here. I've also lost sight of Hamathane for us. And Festus still needs to be destroyed, so you are going to... I think he's... Oh, he's entered the water. Where's he gonna go? Hopefully he doesn't try to bypass this to go to our undefended territories. Damn. Alright, we're gonna have to keep you around for now then, Boris Stighofen. Alright, stay near Middenstog. I don't see much of a choice. Faction encountered Knights of Calador. Oh, they're not going to be happy that we're trading with all the dwarves. I believe they don't just attack the dwarves straight up. No, they don't actually hate each other. Or at least not as much as you would think. Which is fine. Alright, you can have Beric Dawa's bag. Do we want to take all their money from them, though? You know what, let's give them a little bit because they need that money for recruitment, and I don't want to screw the faction over because, frankly, that'll just create problems for us. And we'll see where Aranessa goes and hopefully have a fight with her. More importantly is the Wulfric thing and potentially the Nemesis Crown thing. Have we not built tall walls anywhere? Win the following battle, Death's Timekeeper, kill 1,000... Oh, we actually have to physically walk up here? Move your lord here to attack. Well, I take it we need to actually move Elspeth there, because we can't fight it with garbage army here. Bit of a shame, but okay.
Work to do.
Fine then. Fine by me. We'll deal.
For the Empire.
If only these guys were a little bit more hurt. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll pop ourselves into ambush stance right here. It's relatively low chance. Ooh, in fact, if the ambush fails, they could attack Erengrad now. You know what? Stay here. We'll see what happens with them fighting each other, but for now we need to protect Erengrad. Not much of a choice in the matter. And we'll definitely need to build a Garden of Morr up there. You, sir, go find the elves. You are no longer needed, because you did your job by finding the Nemesis Crown, though I'm not sure that we can credit it to you. And disband. Not paying for you. Alright, and we got one turn until we start recruiting. I mean, I guess we could recruit some war wagons if nothing else, and then we'll start on the Ironsides and whatnot. And some more Knights of the Black Rose as well. Alright, 2 war wagons, 2 war wagons. Costly though it may be. How many? These guys do have a decent pile of infantry. They have way too many skin wolves, though. We wouldn't be able to hold with this army. We'd need something to actually deal with those skin wolves. Yeah, alright. We'll get to it. For now, it's more money to be spent on hopefully useful stuff. You, Flensburg, are the next in line to be upgraded. I really wish these weren't so expensive, but we gotta pay to make more money. Get Taylor's Guild, and then let's upgrade Waldenhof. Nothing here, nothing there. Mutlin Salvenmund, yes to the Woodman's Hut. Forest of Gloom, no. Griffinwood, no. Neither of you two are worth upgrading, but the Tailor's Guild here at the Moot certainly is. Alright. Once again, double-checking for like the 50th time. At least it only takes like a second and a half. Alright, let's end the turn. We got it. We'll find a fight, guys. Don't worry. Episode ain't ending until we get some proper fighting action. Ooh, Scrag is up. Aranessa, please don't go over there and kill him. She did, didn't she? Okay, well now she has to be killed for it. I suppose what we could do is just not kill Scrag. We could just leave him there. Boris? What is the deal? Oh, they don't like our confederation. I mean, yeah, I guess. At least it's only that. Faction destroyed Carcassonne. Aranessa has captured Beric Var, but is not at war with the Yorks, meaning we'll move to here. Or maybe actually we'll move to here. Because I think she'll try to move towards Carrick Angazar. And, what? Actually, not at all. We are in range of Felicia Sharp. Lovely. Ally loses outpost, yeah. Talisman of Preservation. Versus Seed of Rebirth. Ooh. Considering Elspeth already has a form of regeneration, maybe the 2 forms is not necessary. I'm not 100% sure on it, but I am willing to try. The next thing that we'll want to do is see what's going on up here. Wulfric is now by himself at Castle Alexandrinov, and thus this army could probably take him on, including with the garrison.
Right.
What I'm tempted to do here, let me see, is replace the Pistoliers with a couple of Amethyst Outriders. Yeah, they're expensive, but at the same time, I really want to actually be using them, you know? I want to try them out. So, Imperial Gunnery School. Let's do this. We will get 2 of these, despite the ludicrous expense. 1, 2. And then we'll pop both of them into this army. Ooh, 700 gold per turn. It's like getting a steam tank. Replace the Pistoliers and replace one of the handguns.
My decision will be correct.
Alright, then we just got to make sure that they don't get killed by the skin wolves. Alright, Wulfric the Wanderer.
Chieftains.
You're pretty strong, ain't you? Alright, well, we'll talk to our constantly dying friends, the Orthodoxy, and join the war. We could actually get a military alliance with them, but honestly, considering they'll probably be destroyed or confederated, doesn't seem like the right move. Join war. Lovely. This will also, of course, put these settlements in danger, meaning we'll need to delete the Firearms Academy at Dietershofen and replace it with walls, and we'll need walls at Salzenmund as well, but I think we might be able to wait for it to grow. Boris, you're gonna head up here and defend. At least until we can replace your troops with better troops. You might be one of the ones that has huntsmen and crossbows instead, though frankly, whoever defends Erengrad is probably better off doing that. Anyway, time to fight. Nothing for you, sir. What about you? We have Scribe and Messenger. We could get a Steel Standard, but I'm not sure who we'd put that on. I mean, we could put it on one of the already quick-moving Outriders if we wanted to. What about magic items? Frankly, not super needed for you. We have lots of armors of silvered steel and a Helm of Discord. We have Armor of Fortune on you, and we have Armor of... So, you know what? Let's get a Helm of Discord for Felix. The two could work together to debuff everybody around Gotrek. I think I like that. Or at least I like it well enough to fight. Let's fight Wulfric. Ambush. Huh. He had the other army there. I was not expecting that. Well, sucks to be us. Let's get ambushed.
Lady Verena has granted me the wisdom to craft the finest instruments of war, and Sigmar gives us the courage to fell our foes with them. We are promised a place at Sigmar's side for doing this.
Alright, here we go. I have a feeling this is going to be ugly. I mean, our entire army is composed of a lot of Tier 1 and Tier 2 garbage. In fact, the vast majority of it is Tier 1 with some Tier 2s in the form of the handgunners, but the handgunners will be of absolutely no use in this ambush. Enemy has surrounded us and is hitting those skinwolves right into where all of our handgunners are concentrated at the rear of the column, so decent deployment by the AI, and heading for our mortars as well. The only thing we can do is attempt to establish a melee line with the melee troops at the front of our column and try to get our brand new Amethyst Outriders the heck out of combat. If we can get them out, we should be able to make some decent use of them. Oh, I like the swords and the full plate in general, of course, as well as the big old guns, but we'll get to those later. For now, let's see how our poor handguns do, and probably pretty poorly. Alright, well, Skin Wolves, Doggos, Marauders, really anything that they've got here is going to hit very, very hard at the handguns, and pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units in the center are already on the verge of collapse. Our 2 mortars are destroyed at the back of the column, and it's not looking so great. On the bright side, though, we have managed to get our melee troops in formation where they need to be, getting our Master Engineer and Engineer far away, and at least these 2 will be able to fire on the piles of Marauders. Our unit of Amethyst Outriders has also managed to clear the enemy line, well, just one of them, and is beginning to fire down upon the blobs of Marauders. If they ignore the Amethyst Outriders, they will get, well, they will suffer for it. There we go. Those shots look pretty darn fantastic, the Amethyst grenade launches. Beautiful explosions, not so beautiful for the Norskins, however, as their unit of Marauder Hunters with javelins are out. Similarly, all of our handguns are collapsing. It looks like our Tier 1 swordsmen are starting to collapse as well. We get that bombard, Buna's bombard, coming down on the enemy, and it looks like it's a similar animation to the Carmine Dragon laser breath thing in a smaller form. It actually didn't do all that much damage to the enemy, unfortunately, but it does leave a damage over time sort of effect on the enemies, so there is that. Unfortunately, though, the damage over time is actually bad for us, as it would have clipped a few of our units, but I was hoping that it would hit mostly the enemy here, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Our melee line completely surrounded, our handguns are gone, and, well, it's gonna be a toughie. On the bright side, though, we've moved in our Amethyst Outriders, who got a couple of very nice volleys into the enemy blob, getting 16k damage out there. Our mortars were attempting to return, but unfortunately the Beasts of Tashnar, Norscan Warhounds, do give chase. A few of the enemy Marauders have also peeled away, and have decided to go for our 2 engineers here, which were firing with impunity up until now, but not anymore, and we'll have to use those arming swords, sidearms of theirs, to attempt to hold off the tide of Marauders. And Gotrek and Felix are in the middle of the fray, however, and are trying to go after the enemy chieftain. Gotrek isn't really threatened by anything here, but I don't think the same can be said of Felix, who is a little bit weaker. We're probably going to want to give him, I don't know, an Armor of Fortune and a Talisman of Preservation and some really good stuff so that he can fight with Gotrek without getting wrecked. And guess who's back? Our Amethyst Outriders can fire forward while moving, so even while the Beasts of Tashnar chase them, they run towards the enemy army and get some very nice volleys into them. Our handgunners are all still running, but hopefully we can do without the handguns and the mortars. Aye, man. And the big brawl in the center is still happening. The enemy lord books it on out of there, away from Gotrek and Felix, who still continue to lay into the Marauders, and more importantly, the Skin Wolves as well. We've also got the Tatter Souls interspersed with the remnants of our handguns and those melee units that have not yet routed, and since the Tatter Souls are unbreakable, they should be able to hold this blob of enemies for a decent time. Once more, we sent in the Amethyst Outriders, and we're going to get some more shots into the enemy, though we do have to be careful, as volleys from these guys are very dangerous to us. Just as dangerous to us as to the enemy. Beasts of Tashnar and more Norscan Warhounds have moved in, but a few of our units have recovered the guns that have routed from the center, and are now hoping to gun those enemies down, while our Outriders continue to be an absolute menace to the ambushing enemies. There we go, some very, very nice volleys into the backs of them, though it looks like a few of our Tatter Souls and the spears here get clipped. I mean, what are the flagellants gonna expect anyway? It's all about the Doom. They're a Doom cult. We brought their Doom in the form of Amethyst grenades. So, regardless of the fact that this will do damage to our units, the enemy had more units here, and thus will dish more damage out. Keep it up, Outriders, as long as the enemies stand. Destroy them. and it looks like they're going to begin to rout. There we go. Ooh, a very close one. Look at the HP on those tatter souls and spears and whatnot. Everything is extremely heavily damaged, but let's face it, that could have gone much, much worse. I mean, it was always going to be very close, as I was not expecting this ambush, but well done. Well done to the Amethyst Outriders and to Gotrek, etc. for saving us. We are going to give chase to the enemy here, since they did ambush us, and it looks like the Amethyst Outriders will be pretty effective at that as well, since they're fast moving and they can fire while moving as well. Infantry are certainly not going to escape them. Surprising that they have Amethyst Outriders with grenade launchers but not with the regular long guns. Considering Amethyst Ironsides exist, just give the Ironside guns to some Outriders and bam, you have Amethyst Outriders with the long guns rather than the grenade launchers. But anyway, there we go. A Pyrrhic victory for us, just barely so, but a great fight. Oh, alright, what a great fight. I was very, very happy with the way that went down, and just goes to show, can't get complacent. Even if the AI isn't particularly good, it can still pull one over on you with an ambush. Especially for a gun-heavy army, it's a very dangerous thing to have happen. Our mortars didn't get to do anything, as they were immediately obliterated by the enemy skinwolves and doggos, and the enemy did good to have so many skinwolves and doggos in their army. What carried the day was the Amethyst Outriders, doing massive amounts of damage and getting massive amounts of kills, managing at least with this unit to peel away from our main formation, and when the enemy blobbed up, doing a pretty darn decent damage. The Tatter Souls are also instrumental in the win there, holding the line with their unbreakableness, and Gotrek and Felix, of course, doing the same. Not doing too much in the way of damage, mind you, but they were right in the middle of the fray the entire time, and did manage to deal heavy damage to the enemy lord. A very, very fun fight. I guess we're going to go back to Erengrad itself, which means we're free to probably pardon the captives. Though I suppose Wolfred could attack us in theory next turn. Would he dare to do so with Castalton beside us? I don't think so. Ominous Powder. Ooh, yes, because we use the Biuna Bombard, we should have this completed. Now, first of all, this gives us what? Ominous Powder. Enables magical attacks, missile strength plus 20, and additionally quite a bit of damage. The jittery little man who sold me the strange green powder wasn't lying. It really is incredible. They added warpstone to the powder, didn't they? Yep, so a strange green powder. Good luck with that. Looks like quite a bit of potential damage. I think we're going to have to put these items on a lord, like on a... currently, they're in Elspeth's army on, I forget the guy's name, but...
Elspeth von
this guy, Lupio Gosser. But I feel like with all the significant damage that it adds, it should be on an engineer lord, which we will put him on. It does reduce the upkeep for the gunnery units as well, which is great, but... I'm sure Elspeth will be fine as she has reductions of her own as well. Very nice. Very nice. You get some stuff. Use the Biuna Bombard ability. A masterful display of destructive ordnance powered by forces beyond the understanding of the professorship has demonstrated the value of less conventional sources of knowledge. More importantly than that, a Laboratorium Magi and the Gunnery School upgrade. Unlocks Amethyst Hellstorm Rockets, Amethyst Artillery Spirit Barrage, or Tier 3 upgrades. The Amethyst College's benefaction affords us a workshop where equipment is manufactured using closely guarded experimental techniques under very strict access conditions. Lovely. Don't care about the charges being depleted, as what we wanted was this. Tier 3 upgrade exploding bullets for all gun units. Very, very nice. And I guess we could get the grape shot upgrades for the cannons. It's just that we don't have a lot of cannons right now, but that's going to change now. I'm almost very happy with that fight. Do you want to run down the remnants of this army, maybe? Free XP. Hopefully we can do it to auto-resolvedly. Let's find out. Nope, it'll kill off the Tattersalls. Alright, fine. I'll just do that quickly between the episodes. It's a waste of time, and then once doing it, we'll move back to Erengrad. In the meantime, we are rapidly running out of time. I kind of wanted to fight Felicia Sharp here and try out the whole... try out a replay with it. As in a cinematic replay, despite it being broken. Might be able to do it in such a way. Okay, you know what? Here's what we'll do. Well, we're not replacing the regular Hellstorm rocket battery, and frankly, we're probably not replacing any of the units here with the exception of the Sigmar Sons. We're going to go to Imperial Gunnery School. We're going to upgrade the Grape Shot. What I would like to try to do is do a cinematic battle with the broken replay, and the way to do that is to win the battle without directly controlling the units. I'll see if I can make it work. I guess we're about to find out. Let's get Sharpshooter, and let's get Artillery Master, and let's get Stand Your Ground. This won't actually impact too many units, but hopefully enough to make it worth our while. Hey, you, sir. What do we keep getting? Yeah, Mark of Hish, you have the gun sight for additional range damage up to 2.1k. Pretty crazy. Bandolier, Indomitable, Survivalist, Speed. I'm gonna say... Okay, let's just get all-terrain vehicle, because it's gonna bother me that we don't have it this entire time. You know what, let's get Sigmar's Ward. The fact is we'll be facing off against Vampire Coast, and thus likely to take damage. You, sir. Master Ballistics. Triangular, Black Powder Discipline, Mercurial Shot, and Triangulation, as well as Machinist Preparations. And another Triangulation. Alright, time to declare war. You are currently at war with Chevalier de Lyonesse and the Disciples of the Maw, who, alas, won't let us join the war unless we peace out, which we won't do, which means we directly attack them. They are not allied with anybody, although they are trading with the followers of Nagash, but that's fine. Let's try this out. If it doesn't work, I'll simply, once again, manually fight it, but I'm gonna hope that we can make it work. Go.
The enemy feels themselves indestructible. None will disabuse them of this falsehood.
Alright, here we go. I'm not 100% sure that this will work, but, well, let's just hope it will. We're going to do this battle without giving any direct orders to pretty much the entirety of our army, with the exception of Elspeth, who will get orders to cast spells, and some of the spells I'm sure will be hitting the wrong places, but, well, it looks like this one at least clipped some of the enemies there. Our artillery and our handguns and whatnot are all arrayed and will be given no orders and will simply fire at the enemy as they approach, which will hopefully prevent the desync from causing any kind of hassle. Anyway, looks like our... I can't actually tell who the rockets are firing at, but I suppose it doesn't matter because it's working, whether it be at the bats or whether it be at the zombies below. They're both suffering immensely. There we go. Very, very nice, and we're getting a nice use of that burning head right through the enemy line. Actually managed to hit the enemy, more or less. And so far, nothing has yet approached our line of Amethyst Ironside. They just want to take a few shots at the enemy with those magic bullets of theirs, though at least the long rifles are managing to fire at some stuff. Unfortunately, the artillery look like they're trying to target the Vampire Fleet Captain or Admiral, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Even if it's some wasted shots due to the, well, due to us not giving orders to our army. Our army continues to stand still, and there we go. Amethyst bullets coming in from the Ironsides and hitting those animated hulks. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love the way this line looks when they fire. I'd actually love to see these guys combined together with the Fireglaves from the Chaos Dwarfs. An unlikely alliance, but the pew-pew lasers combined with these things would be pretty darn neat. Anyway, the enemy army is in pretty bad shape. The enemy lord melting away under hail of gunfire and the Spirit Leech above. And it does look like some of the enemies continue to march towards us, but will they actually be able to reach our lines? remains to be seen. These ones on the flanks might be able to draw close. And yeah, it's definitely desynced now because the enemy army is behaving a little bit differently than when I played it. But the idea is more or less still working. I guess the main issue with playing the broken desync battles this way is that even if it does sort of work, some of the units won't quite react as we want, and thus we can't quite move units to where they want to be. This unit will get hit and will probably suffer more damage from our own units than from the enemy, but the enemy army is melting away. At this point, I believe all the enemies were dead. Not a single one of the Ironclad Conquerors died despite getting shot in the back by their allies and charged by those animated Hulks. Well done. Yeah, the armor of the armor of these guys is certainly telling, although, ooh, nice volley from that zombie pirate gunnery mob of bombers, though the armor still keeps these guys alive, and it looks like that volley of bombs won't matter, as the last of the enemy will get gunned down, and the battle will be ours with no losses. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm actually shocked that our artillery didn't shoot our own units, but yeah. Very, very nice indeed. Shoot those last poor Sartosan militia. And at least this way we can get cinematic battles going. And just gotta make sure that we build up an army that can essentially function on its own without too much interference from control, and Elspeth can still do it. Of course, in really tough battles or quest battles or whatever, we will still have to control it, but we can make this work. Alright, I genuinely have no idea whether that worked or not, but I'm gonna hope that it did. We get 1.1k in terms of money reward versus we could take 425 schematics, and now that we got more armies on the field and are liable to field more of the various units of Amethyst Ironsides, maybe it's time to take a little bit more in the way of schematics rather than money. No, it's a good amount of money, but nonetheless, salvage those schematics, that army will fall, and oh, it'll be completely destroyed because it was in march stance. Lovely. Unfortunately, we are unable to reach Barrack Var, and I am curious to see how Ernessa will react to this, but I guess we'll have to find out next time, because once more we are out of it, as in time. I'm gonna call the episode here. I'll do this little mini battle between the episodes because I don't want to lose the Tattersouls to an auto-resolve. Then we'll move Eben back to Erengrad. Although would attacking this deprive us enough movement range? That's a question. Maybe we shouldn't risk it, I don't know. Either way, next time, perhaps more fighting against Wulfric. We have begun our recruitment, so we'll be ferrying some stuff, including some war machines, and better artillery, and Ironsides, and Hawkland long rifles to various units. Elspeth can essentially retrofit herself, because there is a Garden of Morr here in Nuln, so we'll do that once we're done out here, and can feel free to move. Lots more fun times to come as our economy is getting good now, and we'll have plenty more fancy machines to screw around with soon. Anyway, more Elspeth to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to Threshold. All glory to the algorithm. And ooh, these guys have flame cannons up and running already. Yeah, thanks for watching. Dwarf stuff soon too.